Good morning, traders. Today is Monday, July 19th. My name is Charles, and this is the Pirate Traders live stream. All right, well, let's start today by taking a step back here and looking at the daily candles here on the futures. I wanted to point out that the overnight pulled us down below that 20 moving average on the dailies. You can see from the past that when we come down here and break that 20, the last few times anyway, we've needed to test the 50. The last time we tested the 50, we punctured through it, but then the next day we pulled right back above it, okay? That's an important nuance to be aware of. So you can see breakthrough, find support, breakthrough. Next day, pulled back above, found support, broke through, next day, pulled above. Okay, so in terms of being extremely bearish, if we push our way down to this 50 moving average today, we can look for support there. And it may push through a little bit, but then pull back up the next day. So we'll keep that in mind as well. But that is the next major support for the market, is that 50 moving average. So we got to keep an eye on that. As far as the market profile is concerned, obviously, overnight inventory 100% net short. So we would expect to get some kind of counter auction to that this morning. You think about all the people that went short here, they got to take profits at some point, right? So you would expect there'll be some kind of counter auction to the upside. How much upside we'll get, I do not know, right? Obviously, a lot of people are going to wake up this morning and see that the market is red, and it is going to cause them some fear and panic. So I highly doubt that this is the end of the selling here. It's also worth noting we had been talking about for the last month how many insane weak references we had been leaving behind, and we are now almost down there to repair the last of those. So that is also worth noting. For those people that kept saying, I guess market profile doesn't work anymore, and I kept saying, you must just be patient. These things do get repaired. There you go. Okay. Potential targets to the downside. We kind of just have to monitor for continuation as we go, but the bottom of the gap from 623 seems like a good one. Okay. The market is open. So obviously these weak references are all repaired. I'll leave these two lows marked here as potential resistance on the way up. Okay, so we have a massive gap down. Gap rules are in play. The first thing to focus on is the counter auction. So the market is likely to need to push a little bit higher here this morning just to absorb some of that move down. So can that counter auction fill the gap? It's very unlikely, right? Gaps this large almost never fill on the first day. So highly unlikely the gap fully fills, but we may push up, get into this node of volume right here from the overnight, or this one up here where they spent the most time. That is very possible. Find some resistance there. If the gap fails to fill, that is a gap and go. So you go short in the direction of the gap. So far, that's what's happening. Market internals opening extremely bearish, but we'll give them some time to settle in here. So again, if you're looking to short the market, don't do it just yet. You do need that counter auction first. So we're looking for where does the market hit resistance to the upside. Good morning, Rad. Good morning, Bull Bear Rider. Psy Worker, good afternoon to you. Philip, good morning. Nirmal, good to see you. No to Cactus Heart, good morning to you. Good morning. Hi, RK Leon. Good to see you. Pavel is here. Good morning. Dienterestu. Good morning to you. K. Rody. Good morning. John is with us. Good morning to you. Okay, first bit of resistance that we're getting here to the upside is right at the same place that the node of volume is right here. And you can see the time. You see how they spent a few more extra TPOs in here than on the way down. So that's a sign that this push higher was just these people taking profits. Big delay today. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Okay, for what it's worth, this is not great taper at the high here. So if the market can find some support on the low, it could take another stab at pushing through that high. But one tick from a poor low actually makes this low poor. So this may just be the push away from that poor low while the market builds up steam to go take it out. Brian, good morning. Market puking. Puke away, puke away. Jane, good morning to you. Welcome. Good morning, Robert. I'd like to short the overnight single prints in the 80s. Oh, I see you. Sure. Definitely could hit some resistance up in there. If not, up in this node just above it at like 87. Mudra, good morning to you. 91 viewers, 18 likes. Please smash that like button. Smashing that like button tells the algorithm that you like the show, and it should show you more stuff like this. It also tells the universe you like money, and it should give you more money. Thank you guys so much for that. All right, and the selling continues. So we would now expect this node of volume right around the open here to act as resistance on the way up. So as the market sells its way lower, if it works its way back up, we look for resistance there. If not, it's pushing to back to try to fill that gap once again. So we'll keep that in mind. Arthur, good morning to you. Naif, good morning to you. I am okay. I'm doing good. Normal, good morning to you. Normal will be happy with the universe getting it back to break even. Well, today's your day, my friend. There's going to be some volatility in this market and some opportunity here today, no doubt about it. Okay, so we have good excess on this low, but we don't have good taper. It's worth keeping in mind there. And we have pushed back up into this node of volume from this morning. That should start to act as resistance here. Pushing back above the opening price, which is the green dot right here at 42.67, would mean they're trying to go fill that gap once again. All right, so they're taking a push higher. Let's jump over and look at the internals. They are recuperating from that bearish opening drive. Pulling their way back up towards the zero line, slowly but surely. We'd like to see at the very least these two levels right here get a bit more volume put in on them so we get better taper to the downside. I mean on the top. Arthur, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I mean, unfortunately, that's how trading works. Sometimes you buy the dip and it keeps dipping. Okay, so we're meeting resistance right in that same area we did earlier this morning. Jamie, what are the odds of spending the day bouncing this range? Like, in my opinion, like near nothing. There's no way the market stays stuck down here. There's only one of two things that can happen, right? When you wake up and you see this happening in the market, like let me pull up the daily chart. If you go back and look at the previous days where we broke um, below the 20 moving average, like you don't spend any time floating around, right? You just drop like a brick to the next spot. So at this moment, in between these two moving averages, there is only two scenarios for today. Either we go down and test this one, or we recover and get back above this one. There's just no hanging out in between these two moving averages. Does that make sense? So we broke it here, full day down, next day full day down, found support, up, up. You don't churn around in this area. You just move from one moving average to the other. The daily moving averages. Those are the ones that like big players are watching. You start getting those people nervous for a sell-off or excited to buy a dip, and man, they will just push the market. All right, well, we are selling off. I was about to say breaking back below this. Man, I missed the short. Busy talking, missed the short. Story of my life. Yeah, pushing back through this node of volume. So this was resistance. We pushed down. We came back up. We got through it. Then it became support for a second for a couple attempts at pushing higher. So then once you push through it again, it's bearish. And now you expect it once again to act as resistance on the way up. All right, Cine Matt, I see your gap, and I see it as a potential fill here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Ooh, boy, they're trying to fill that gap quick. They're making they're making no secrets about it. Oh shit! I just realized I never changed the bottom thing. Obviously, we are bearish today. Probably didn't need to put that up, but Design Knob thinks the deer are coming for the shorts. Could be. Could be. Like I said, I think we might have to get to that 20 moving average first, but obviously very thin volume all down here. Easy to backtrace our way back to this node from earlier. Okay, getting back below that negative 1,000 mark. That's sort of like an oversold reading. The market does not often spend much time below that number, negative 1,000. Still a little ways to go to get to that daily moving average, which is currently sitting at 42.29. Okay, so that gap is backfilled. Okay, for those of you playing the home game, all those 10,000 week references we had been building. This whole move up, we were building weakness, 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 came back down, repaired a bunch of it. Another push up where we created weakness, weakness, weakness. Stairs up, elevator down. Ding, ding. And the selling continues. Okay, so this poor low corresponds with the 50 daily moving average. Normal, how far back does it have to go to backfill the weak references? Oh, I have no idea, my friend. I mean, like I said, to me, that 50 moving average, which is right about where this poor low is, I mean, I don't think the market's going to have much further to go than that, at least not in the first hour of the day. But we'll have to wait and see. Arcaleon, you hate being right. Did you call it? Did you call the massive pullback? Better yet, did you buy a put? Oh no. Man, of all the days to miss. Bummer. Oh, Jay. He's asking what was the bottom. We already repaired it. That we've got them all. Now we're back to just normal, leaving one or two random weak references. But yeah, this morning that first push down into here repaired the last of that like massive jumble that we had. All right, I can't believe it's only been a half an hour. Emotionally, I feel like I've been through an entire day already. All right, well, we're printing the B period here. Will the market begin one time framing lower? Damn, you did call it. You called it. All right, so we're making a little pour low here. We often get a push away from a pour low first, then we come back and take it out. If we just immediately take it out, it is a little bit more bearish for further downside continuation. Okay, the market is one time framing lower. Still below that negative 1,000 line. A lot of people selling their underlying stocks here. Okay, we got good taper on the low here, good excess. So I'm not saying this is the low of the day. As a matter of fact, I don't think it is. But if it is, that would be a good low. Okay. So remember, now that we've got the trend down, clearly we've got a trend down and we're one time framing. We are looking for resistance as the market pushes back up. We're kind of in a little node of volume right around here that's acting as resistance at the moment. The next major resistance is going to be the halfback at 42.55.75. And then if we're able to push through that, we're getting up into that node of volume from this morning, right at the overnight low. All right, so the market pushed its way up into here, created some resistance right around this 47 level, and now it's taking another stab at the lows. The trend remains intact. Normal, it'll be when the trend comes to an end. At this point, with the downtrend that we've got in the market, whenever you get the cessation, because remember, it's going to be those bigger money players that have more confidence, right? These are the people who, when they step into a position, they step into it with confidence. Whereas short-term traders like you and I, retail traders, we have a lot more fear and anxiety about our positions because we're trading with our own money and we have much less of it. So whenever they do step into the market, you'll know because the market will just stop going down, and it'll first you'll get the cessation of one time framing, right? You'll get one of the time periods that's above the previous time period's high, and then the market will just either grind sideways or start trending higher from there. It sounds like an overly simplified answer. That's it, Charles. You just wait for the cessation. But yeah, at this point, with just look at how massive that first push down was in the A period. I mean, that's just insane, right? So at this point, with a trend like this, whenever it comes to an end, that is the sign that the bigger players have been stepping in, right? They're not going to just totally get all in like right here. They're going to be layering their way in like that. So if the market pushes down, finds support, gets cessation of one time framing, odds are the bigger players have been buying the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to kind of wait. Just be patient. Well, Lewis, I mean, that's the same trade, right? They're taking their money out of stocks and putting it into bonds. It's the same people. Don't know why anybody's buying bonds right now, though. Okay, well, we're starting to butt up against that 50 moving average on the daily. Right around the same time we repair this poor low left behind from 623. So let's see if the buyers can step in here and pull us above the 1,000 line, negative 1,000 line. Nick, I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility. I like to keep it simple. How bearish is it? It's just bearish. Only one way to trade. And that's to the downside. All right, buyers are starting to step in here at that 50. I mean, side worker, I don't really like doing that, talking about trades when I'm in them. But I will just tell you how I've been trading this morning, which is actually kind of a little bit different than the way I normally do. What I've been doing is scalping all morning. So I've been taking 2 contracts short at any particular level where I think the market is going to break. And then I've been putting my take profits, just arbitrarily picking a level, a couple bucks below, and putting the first contract to close there. So the market pushes lower, it fills that first contract. I then move my stop a tick below break even, and then I see if the next one can run. Sometimes it runs a little and then I take profits on that. Sometimes it comes back and fills, and then I just rinse and repeat. And I've been doing that. I've taken like 9 trades this morning. I've just been like boom, 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 boom. And that's just the way. I don't normally trade like that. It's just I knew we were going to have this rapid tempo and I could scalp with a little more certainty. So that's what I've been doing this morning. As of now, I'm waiting for the cessation of 1 time framing to go long, or I don't know if anything would get me short here at this point, but I'm just kind of going with the flow. When the market is moving this quickly and like this crazy, it's hard to like set up trades ahead of time and have confidence, at least for me. It's easier to just take quick trades in the moment where I trust what I'm seeing and I know what I'm going to get. But I do think somewhere in here we'll find some support and then get a rotation back up. But I got to wait for that sensation first. Design knobs say what, motherfucker? You've only been trading long in this market? Bro, you got some brass balls on you. Partha. Why is everybody going long against the trend on a day like today? I get it. I mean, you get the little bit, that little fast movement where it pushes up real quick and you can take your profits, but yikes. Keep in mind there's a lot of single prints in this chart. There's a lot of thin volume. So whenever this market does find support, it can grind back up pretty quick. That's the chart design knob I was looking at. I assume these are like 5-minute candles or 1-minute candles or something. Yeah, Partha, that's a very common thing, but that's a good sign. If you can get profitable in a paper account consistently, so like if over a period of a month or 2 months, you're consistently profitable in a paper account, then you know when you switch to the live account and you're losing money, you know that it's purely psychological. And that's actually a very, very powerful thing to know, because a lot of traders, like, the trick to trading is you have to just like keep working at it even though you suck at it, and you just have to assume that if you keep working at it long enough you'll get good. But if you're already profitable at paper trading, you don't have that uncertainty. You know you can do it. You know you have the skills and that you can. It's just a matter of overcoming your psychology. And of course the way you do that is you figure out, once you switch back to the main, actual money account, and you start taking trades, when they go against you, you ask yourself, why? Why did this one go against me? And almost always, I'm sure you'll think, oh, I FOMO'd in, I panicked out, you'll start to notice it's emotion that's making you do those things. And then you create rules, you create a framework that stops you from doing that. So a framework that won't let you, jump into a FOMO trade or get squeezed out or whatever. You create rules for that, and then those rules help guide you to protect your money. But it is a process. And the first step is just knowing you are a profitable trader and you can read the market and you do know what you're doing. And it's great to start in a paper account for that part of it. Then psychology is the next step. All right, well, we're above the zero line for the first time all day on them ticks. So once again, we're looking for resistance. We print the C period here in about 1 minute. So if we print that C period and it's able to get above that B period high, that is the cessation of one time framing, likely to bring in some rotation. Trading talkie. I'd like to order one V-shaped recovery, please. Ding. Today is the one day I will accept a V-shaped recovery, just because of the bounce off the 50. I'll let them have it today. All right, guys. Well, the C period is continuing the one-time framing lower. At this point, I must bid the YouTubers farewell. Au revoir. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Not much advice, honestly, moving forward in here. I just got to kind of play a day like today as we go, minute by minute. Like I said, I think we're going to find support in here somewhere, and then we'll take a push back up into this range to backfill some of these single prints. Whether we'll be able to get back up into the overnight range in here is yet to be determined. But I do think once we find support, we come back in here and we backfill all this thin volume. But it could keep pushing all day long to the downside. So you got to wait for the cessation of one time framing first and then look for that to start backfilling. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great rest of your day. If you're in the Brigade, give me about 5 minutes and then check the website for a link. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.